excited to be having this with Michael. He's been doing some really cool initiatives to help our industry. We'll want to talk about more later, but thought he was the perfect person. Look at that smiling face to be hosting this community facial. So without further ado, I'd like to pass it over to Michael. Michael, if you could tell us a little bit about you and a brief something about Circadia if anyone hasn't heard of it, and what we're doing today.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you all so much for joining us, and it's so great, warms my heart to see so many of my friends and so many smiling faces out there. My name is Michael Pugliese. I'm the CEO and owner of Circadia. We are a professional skincare brand based on the body's natural circadian rhythms. There's understanding what the skin and the body are doing daytime versus nighttime. So that's the main premise and the concept of the brand. So it's just the underlying theme of who we are. But we also make and manufacture our products right here in Pennsylvania. Research and development is something that is kind of hardwired into the DNA of who we are. But I'm also a licensed esthetician, so it keeps me very close to the professional community, allows me to stay in touch with the estheticians. And as all this was starting to unfold, I thought, well, we've really got to stay connected, not only to our spa partners and spa managers, spa directors, but also to the estheticians. So we started figuring out how can we help manage this truly crisis that we're dealing with. So we came up with the at-home staycation kits, and I was brainstorming some ideas here, and a couple of people said, well, let's get something into the hands of these spas that are going to be closed for the foreseeable future. So that's what we did. So we're going to talk about this, and we're going to be doing the demonstration, and all of us are going to be doing it together. So thank you so much, Lisa, Live Love Spa, for organizing this and putting it together and being able to do it all together as a community, because I think staying connected and staying together is probably the most important thing for all of us to do right now.
Absolutely. And since we all did the cleanser before, I have a couple questions about it.
Sure.
I wanted to know if I can use that cleanser twice a day, or is that like a one time right before a facial only?
Sure. So the lipid replacing cleansing gel, which is the first step that you all should be doing, and everyone who's going to be participating today has already done. It is a foaming cleanser. So the foaming cleansers are designed to emulsify oil that accumulates, that is naturally made by the skin. So if you have a particularly oily skin type, this is something that you're dealing with all the time. If you're prone to dry skin, sometimes you may need an oil-based cleanser or possibly a milk-based cleanser. So depending on the skin type, skin condition, geographical area, this is definitely something that you can use twice a day. But if you need a little bit more exfoliation, if you're finding that you have a little bit more significant oil production, or even if you are more oily, you may have to find another alternative. This is perfect for what we're doing today, because this is the most widely used cleanser as a back bar treatment. So it's relatively universal. The foaming agents that are in here are pretty gentle, so everybody's skin can handle it for at least a single cleanse. But depending on where you are and skin type, skin condition, you may find that you need to use something else as far as a consistency daily cleansing routine.
Amazing. So Michael's question is that he wants to know how much to put on, because he's a dude and he's not clear on the amount of what he's supposed to put on. So how much should you be distributing?
My dude, Michael. Okay, so not much actually. It's relatively concentrated. You'll find that just even kind of a pea-sized amount is going to be enough to work up a pretty good lather. You're just going to work it into the forehead, around the eyes, obviously avoiding the eyes directly, face, neck, and décolleté. That should be enough to get a relatively good cleanse and what it is that you need. And for the ladies that are out there, we also have another product, which is the Vitamin Veil Cleanser. You'll find oftentimes that the foaming cleansers aren't great at getting makeup off, mineral-based makeup off, so you may need something as a pre-cleanse, which is something that we also have as well. So if you're finding that you're really trying to get makeup off, use an oil first, and then the oil can be solubilized by the lipid cleanser that you have in the kit.
Are you ready? Possibly?
I'm ready. Let's do
dive
this.
Right in.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my headband on a while also. So for maximum Circadia exposure here, I'll put it on. If you do have hair and you're doing this at home, it's best if you do it this way. But again, because I don't have that issue, and because some of us have more forehead than others, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on this way.
Amazing.
Here we go.
All right, and then Rihanna, we'll get to your question at the end. I want to move on for right now, but I will get to it. Okay, so let's dive right in. So what's step one?
Okay,
Here.
so in the staycation kit, just so that everybody knows what's in here, we have the lipid replacing cleansing gel that we've just been talking about. We have step 2, which is the caviar lime and passion fruit enzyme mask, the marshmallow whip hydrating mask, the vitamin C reversal serum, and the post peel. So we'll talk about and go through each one of those products as we go through the step.
And I know
Cleansers.
today, oh, sorry, I was going to say, I know today we're doing about 30 minutes, but is this normally about a 30-minute facial?
If you're coming to the spa and getting a service, and this is something that can be on the menu, this is actually a treatment itself, just like this on the menu in a lot of our professional treatment spas, resorts, spas, hotels, all over the country, all over the world. So if you're incorporating massage, some other things that can be utilized, whether it's treatment modalities, microcurrent, sometimes microdermabrasion, hydrodermabrasion, this can be anywhere from a 60 to a 90-minute treatment service. So what's
Okay,
great about the
amazing.
brand in general is it can be customizable.
Awesome. Okay, so step one would be like our exfoliating step, correct?
Yeah, yeah. So the next step is going to be it's the caviar lime and passion fruit. So I'll talk a little bit about some of the actives that are in here once we get the product on. So we'll go ahead and start the process. So everybody get your mask ready, get your brush ready. And let's
And
get
for
it going.
anyone who doesn't have the staycation kit yet, this would basically be the step where they would want to have some sort of mask that has like an active ingredient or just something that's exfoliating.
Yeah, so the caviar lime itself, and we call it the caviar lime because I'm going to have to talk and apply at the same time. I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever tried to do this. The caviar lime itself is, it contains finger limes, and the finger limes have a natural alpha hydroxy acid in them. So it's a really mild exfoliant. In fact, it's the most mild exfoliant that we offer as a brand at Circadia. So we knew it was something that the customers at home would be able to use and be able to apply no problem whatsoever. And of course, the passion fruit, which all of you that have the kit and are doing this with us now can smell, it's just absolutely incredible. It's a passion fruit powder, so it's packed with a great profile of antioxidants. So not only are you getting a good exfoliation, mild exfoliation, but it just smells great. It has this really nice tropical feel to it.
So this is fragrance free?
Fragrance free. No, we have no synthetic fragrances, no synthetic dyes whatsoever. So, I mean, some clients may feel a little bit of a tingle to the product. Some people are going to feel nothing at all. Again, it is an exfoliant, so it's designed to break down and denature surface proteins. That's what we're doing. We're getting rid of the cells at the surface of the skin, the stratum corneum. So you can feel a little bit of a tingle, but like I said, this one's is pretty mild, pretty modest when it comes to overall activity. If you're comparing it to some of the other heavier enzymes, bromelain, papain, even some of the acids like lactic and salicylic that you're going to find in a professional treatment.
And to go back to the question before, how thick of a layer should we be applying here?
You want it so that it's spreadable. You don't want to really put it on too heavy, too thick, because as you can see, you can feel this has a really nice spreadable consistency. It almost has this like custard texture, smells great, feels great, goes on easy, comes off relatively easily. The next one that we'll take a look at has a much thicker consistency, much thicker texture, but you don't want it to the point where it's piling on and it's going to be running off the skin. So just a nice, even, thin layer on the surface of the skin is going to be plenty. Some estheticians have a tendency to be a little bit heavy-handed. I definitely fall into that category as well as a licensed professional. So just conserving resources, especially now more than ever, is something that we want to pay attention to.
Yeah, speaking of heavy-handed, I see Joe over there doing some massaging. Can you give us a little bit of massaging techniques? And also for the couples out there who, might be doing at-home facials for each other, how can we, make
Yeah,
this
absolutely. So if you're limited on product and you don't have a whole lot, this is actually a really good product that you can do a little bit of massaging. There's some really good slip to this, and as you massage the product around, you're actually working the exfoliants a little bit deeper into the skin. So this one has a little bit more slip than even the marshmallow, and we'll talk about what you can do with the marshmallow to add to the exfoliation. because that can help with a little bit of gommaging. But as you're massaging the product, you're actually, as I mentioned, working the exfoliants a little bit deeper into the skin. So this is something that we recommend for professional treatments when it's being used at the spa, but also something that you can take advantage of at home too.
So, forgive me, what is caviar lime?
So again, the name caviar lime comes from the finger lime. So if you've ever seen a
Oh,
finger
okay.
lime, rather than a traditional citrus fruit like an orange or lemon, when you cut it in half, the fiber bands, they run kind of perpendicular. Whereas finger limes, when you cut them open, they're little spherical balls and they actually look like caviar. So you break them open, they kind of spill out. So there's no traditional caviar, there's no fish eggs in any of these products, which we actually have to explain. But those little balls in there are referred to as caviar pearls from the finger lime. So that's where the name actually comes from. And if you've never seen it before, at some point do a Google image on caviar lime. They're absolutely beautiful. They come in these brilliant colors of pink and yellow and orange, and they're gorgeous. But again, it's the alpha hydroxy acids that are part of those natural caviar lime pearls that are helping to exfoliate the skin.
Okay.
And
Let's look at these couples really fast. I mean, Joanne and Paul over there. I'm like, I've never gotten a facial from Scott. Where is he? Why isn't he?
Get him in there. Scott, where you at?
Scott, where you
oh
at?
my goodness. Yes. Oh my
Kayla
gosh.
and I were
Paul
just
has a
talking
Facebook
about
massage.
this. Kayla and I were just talking about this. We were on the phone with our team earlier, and she was, and we want our couples to do this at home. You know, our customer service team that's working from home, you know, making sure that everyone's staying safe. I mean, there's still clients that are out there reaching out to us for help and asking questions. So we want them to do this with their couples.
I love it. I just want to give a quick shout out to a few people that have come on. Monica, Lucy, Nancy Griffin, Diane Trieste, George, Kristen Brock, Silva, Jenna, Mary, Voncell. We got a lot of amazing people joining us even on Facebook Live.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. So I also want to know if this particular product is good for all skin types.
This one's pretty universal for just about every skin type. Again, if you've got a skin type where you're treating, and if you the place that we're offering this service is a little bit more of a place that's offering medical treatments, and you're dealing with severely compromised skin that's, you know, psoriasis or psoriatic eczema or things like that, that's severe conditions, any exfoliant is something that you've got to be cautious with. But for the vast majority of people that have conditions of skin that's in pretty good shape, this is going to be just fine. You just have to be a little bit cautious with broken skin, really, really irritated skin. Exfoliation is something that you always have to proceed with caution. But for most people, this is going to be a fantastic, very simple 1, 2, 3, 4 step protocol that we're showing them today.
Perfect. Okay, I think that actually moves us right to our next step. So if everybody wants to get the brushes and kind of wash them off really quick.
So everybody wash your brushes. Everybody should also have a towel ready to go, a wet towel, because we're going to remove the product. And like I said, this is a pretty easy on, easy off mask. So at this point, you're just going to want to take the mask off. And again, this is relatively new protocol for us to be doing it in front of our screens. I think this is the first time ever for most of us.
Wait, you don't always conduct your facials in front of a screen?
I don't always conduct my facials in front of the screen, but when I do, it's with all my friends.
Yeah. It's great.
Okay.
So for anyone who is maybe, you know, new to something like this and doing a full step, you know, facial, why 2 masks?
Well, it's 2-step because the first one is designed primarily for mild exfoliation and gives a little bit of an antioxidant protection. The second one is more focused on hydration. But a lot of these types of masks, and we do have several of them, are more for customization options. We really want to give the spas that are offering these treatments and services a number of different options for their guests, for their clients. And we know that, you know, everybody from, you know, the destination resorts and hotels that are seeing a guest for 3 to 5 days, all the way down to the clients that have really close relationships that are seeing those customers for, a couple hours a month, every month. They want to make sure that they've got something that's new and fresh all the time. So we have a lot of menu options that are different that are out there, but this one in particular is great because you've got exfoliation for one mask and you've got hydrating for another mask.
Okay, and should we be applying this one with the brush still, or?
Yeah, now this one with the brush. Now this one's a little bit thicker, so you'll see the texture. And again, the aromas of the masks here, we have no synthetic fragrance. So everything that you're smelling in any of the products, in the marshmallow, obviously smells a lot like marshmallow. And it's because of the marshmallow extract. Marshmallow extract is hydrating, it's soothing, it's calming. But we have a lot of other hydrating ingredients that are in here, things like royal jelly, squalane butter, meadow foam butter, things that you're going to find as traditional emollients and humectants, hyaluronic acid even. And these are all designed to hydrate the skin. Now, what's great about this one is that when you're doing this in a traditional spa setting, you can also steam with this, and that warmth, you can use a warm towel or steam, and that warmth will kind of help to set the product in. And even after the exfoliation, I hate to use the term melt, but it just kind of helps to set those ingredients right into the skin and just really helps to boost all the hydrating properties of everything that I just mentioned.
And I know I'm asking some of the same questions again, but I would like to know, this one's really thick.
Yes.
Wondering if this one's also good for all skin types and how much we should be applying.
Yeah, extremely thick texture on this one. And yes, this one is great for all skin types. And again, that with the whole idea of customization and making sure that that is something that we can do. Now, we talked a little bit about exfoliation, and I'll circle back to that here in just a moment. But yeah, all skin types will benefit from this one. And in fact, some of the compromised skin types that I mentioned earlier will benefit even more, because this is not a traditional exfoliant. There's no alpha hydroxy extract. There's no enzyme in this one. So there's no concern there of actually creating any kind of irritation that you might get from any kind of exfoliation. Now, if you do decide to massage this product, and we can do this a little bit, or some of you at home, if you want to give this a try, go ahead. I won't do it for now because it can get a little bit messy if you do this. But as you start to manipulate and move the product around, the longer it's on the face, it'll start to roll up a little bit. So it actually becomes a gommage. So this is kind of a dual purpose, dual function product. So it will exfoliate if you manually start to rub it around. And some of our clients do use it for that purpose, but most of them are just going to apply this step, let it rest on the skin, let those hydrating ingredients really start to set in, let them take effect, and just really enjoy that afterwards. Everyone's skin is going to feel very smooth, very hydrated after this protocol.
All right. And, sorry, Kayla. I was just wondering if we could take 1 second, if you guys have your phone close by, take a little selfie, and then maybe we could also actually come up real close to the screen, and we'll do like a little screenshot too. Hold on here. Let's do the screenshot first. Kayla, do you know how to do this? Hold on.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, everyone get in close to your cameras. And 1, 2, 3. You all so cute.
You're cute. You're cute.
I love it. And then if anyone wants to take a quick pic by their lonesomes, but together, then make sure you tag Circadia and Live Low Spa too in it. So cute.
I also wanted to take a few minutes to mention, I don't know if it came up or if you asked, but how long traditionally do the masks sit on the skin? Some of them can stay on for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It depends. You can do hand, arm, neck massage, incorporate some other massage techniques in other parts of the body while these masks are sitting on. So obviously we're doing a little bit of an abbreviated version here today with the group, but at home, feel free to take your time with this. I mean, these can sit on the skin for up to 10, maybe 15 minutes, especially the hydrating portion of the mask.
So at this point, it's been on for about 5 minutes. Do you think we'd be okay to move on to our next step?
Yeah, we can move on to the next step. So we can go ahead and take this off.
Everyone wants to get your second towel and just do a quick wipe. And Dee said that she felt some tingle after the last wash off and that the smells yummy. Do I
Yeah,
agree?
you can, again, because of the, because you've exfoliated first, sometimes you can feel a little bit of a tingling sensation from some of the products that will go on afterwards. It is rare, but sometimes people do feel a little bit of a tingling sensation. One of the products that we're going to be applying last is the post peel, which again has a lot of soothing, calming ingredients there to help to kind of counterbalance that. So within an hour, 2 hours or so, the next time they touch their face, which again, we're not supposed to be touching our face, but you probably won't be able to resist. Just make sure you've washed your hands. You'll feel just how smooth and hydrated the skin feels.
So we have a vitamin C product next, which I'm super excited about because I've been using your guys' vitamin C serum for a while. And I love it. So I'm pretty excited. So, but I want to know actually, because I've used quite a few vitamin C serums. And so I want to know but I feel like yours has had a really amazing effect on my skin. So is there something different that's happening with your vitamin C?
Yes. So the
And can you
vitamin
put
C,
this on?
this is going to be the next step, and I'm going to give everybody at home a little bit of an inside tip, but I'll speak to the vitamin C first. So this is our best seller as far as our home care product and as a professional treatment product. We sell more of this than we do anything else. And traditional vitamin C, and even the form that's recognized in the body, is L-ascorbic acid. So those of you that are estheticians at home, you've heard that before. But as a topical ingredient, L-ascorbic acid can be a little bit irritating, especially again for those compromised types of skin. If you've got rosacea, if you've got acne, if you've got psoriasis or eczema, that low pH product can actually create quite a bit of irritation. And it's unfortunate because those are the skin types that need a stable form of vitamin C the most. It's also relatively unstable. So the ingredient supply side of the industry recognized that, and they started to create different forms, ester forms. And this is one called magnesium ascorbyl phosphate. It's probably recognized as one of the more stable forms of vitamin C. It's also one of the more gentle forms of vitamin C. To top that off, we've also got it in a multiple weight hyaluronic acid base. And hyaluronic acid hydrates the skin. It helps to plump the skin, also helps to deliver the vitamin C. So it's a top seller for us, and it's great for all skin types, no matter the age, no matter the skin condition that you're working with. It's awesome. And that's one of the reasons why you're probably loving it as much as you are.
Any advice on like how we should be putting it on and how much?
All the time, everywhere, morning and night, as much as you can get on. No, you really only need a few drops. It's one of those products that a little dab will do you. People do have a tendency to overuse it because it does absorb into the skin very quickly. And if you're just applying it by itself, you put a few drops on and you'll notice, oh, wow, that goes in quick. And you almost feel a little bit of a tack and then a drag, and then it's gone. And that's the multiple weight of hyaluronic acid. It penetrates so quickly. So what I like to do is usually when I'm doing my home routine in the morning and the evening, I'll put a little bit on first, but then when I'm doing my treatment protocols, I'll put a little bit into my hand and then I'll power blend with the moisturizer. So I'll take a couple drops and then I'll mix it with the post peel, right?
So you just need a couple of drops of the post peel as well?
A few drops of the vitamin C and then a little bit of the post peel, again, just to not too much product. A dime size amount is probably going to be fine to start. I mean, I need a little bit more. My face is bigger than most. And then just make sure that you've got good application everywhere. Now, the post peel product is something that we use a lot in the professional treatment room. After some of our peels, especially some of the more aggressive peels, but it's such a fantastic product that we do have a lot of clients that just say, hey, we want it for home use. It's a beautiful moisturizer as well. So we make it available. But we found it to be very important, especially because we're doing at-home exfoliation here, even though it's mild to have something like this that's going to help the skin to just look absolutely fantastic after this home care treatment.
And I believe with this post peel part here, you had said, or I'd read somewhere that you guys were donating this to nurses. Is that right?
Yeah. We sent a bunch of these out just last week to a lot of nurses because I'm sure you've seen on social media all of the irritation that they're getting from wearing these masks. It's trapping the moisture that they're breathing, and causing inflammation and bruising that they're getting. So we sent it out and donated a lot of these to the hospitals. And with the small amount of volume of traditional product that we've got the stock. So we're finding places for these to go. And we had a request just on Friday last week. So we're making some calls to see if we can get them into the hands of people where they can be most useful.
That is so cool. That is really, really cool.
Thank you.
I love some of these initiatives that you guys are doing. It's really amazing. So thank you for that also. And so now everyone should pretty much be through the whole protocol, right?
That's it.
That's
it's
it.
Amazing.
That's supposed to be on.
Everybody's skin look good. Everyone, you guys all look fantastic.
So question for you, now that we've finished with this, and I know there was some exfoliating and all of that, if we plan on going like for a walk or something later, should we put on sunscreen? Like what's our care for the rest of the day now to maintain this?
Yeah, so I mean, I can't stress enough as an esthetician the importance of using a sunscreen, using a good sunscreen. Make sure it says on the product broad spectrum. I mean, there's debates on which one to use and which form to use, but as long as it says broad spectrum, it means it's been tested for critical wavelength, which means UVB and UVA. So certainly make sure that you're doing that. Of course, I'd love you to have the Circadia sunscreen, and if you do need a sunscreen, you would be getting the Staycation kit. So certainly do that. But yeah, absolutely. Sunscreen is like paramount. No matter what it is that you're doing in life, make sure you're wearing a sunscreen.
Yeah, so for everyone here and then who's on Facebook Live as well, so can you talk a little bit about how to get the Staycation kit if they don't already have it?
Sure, absolutely. So when we started this initiative, again, the idea was that we knew that businesses were going to be closing. We knew that the professional skincare industry was going to be suffering for an unforeseeable amount of time. So we started getting in touch with our clients and saying, look, we know that your clients can't get to you. So start calling them and say, you can't come in for your treatment. You can't come in for your retail product, but place the order with us. Circadia will drop ship to you the Staycation kit when you place an order. So even if it's a single product, we're going to make sure that you get the Staycation kit to them and keep that skin in its best possible condition as it can until they can come back in to see you for the regular visit. So that's what they're doing. So if they're calling us, they're getting in touch with us, we're making sure that we're drop shipping. Our shipping and receiving department is still open. We're making sure that we're taking all precautionary measures, that the packages are packaged safely, that we're keeping our distance here. It's an incredible thing, and we're going to be documenting that and sharing some of that a little bit later on this week. But we're making sure that the consumers out there who want to get their hands on the product, who want to take advantage of this special, are doing it, but it's through the spa. We want to make sure that we're keeping the spa industry healthy and as viable as we possibly can through this crisis, because make no mistake, we are definitely in a crisis right now, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. So we're doing our part. We're doing everything we can to help guide through this mess that we're all in together. So that's what we're doing. So you can place your order through us, through Circadia. Live Love Spa has some initiatives there. They've got some incredible ambassador program that you all are doing. So I know there's going to be some information and some links on how to order, how to get the Staycation kit. And you guys, again, have just done an incredible job helping all of us, helping everybody to get through this together, because I can't tell you how many business owners, how many spa managers, directors, estheticians that I've talked to over the last 3 weeks that are just, wondering, wanting answers. And it's the uncertainty of the unknown that I think is really scaring a lot of people. But if we keep following the social distancing guidelines that we're being asked to adhere to, if we stick together, if we keep directing our estheticians towards education initiatives, I think we're going to get through this together as quickly as possible.
100%. Yeah, I've been totally excited about all of these initiatives that you're doing. Really quick, just back on the wholesale side of things and the drop ship orders, do you have a minimum order, just so everyone knows?
We don't. And even if it's a single product, we're making sure that you're getting the Staycation kit. So again, it's through the professionals. We want to make sure that that's clear. These are not available for purchase. We don't have the inventory or the quantities right now. We're working as best as we can to get the materials, and it's really the ancillary things like the bags and the brushes and the headbands to get them into the hands so that the clients can really feel like they're getting that at-home experience that we're conserving the most. I mean, I want to be able to get them to the spas at some point so they can say, okay, I have these available, But right now, it's making sure that we can get them directly to the clients because they can't get in for their service. They can't get in to purchase the products. So they can't purchase them now.
So Michael,
Not yet. Not yet.
Kayla is just wanted to say too is that from this idea, we want to also let the spas know that they can just take this same idea, right? You already have the marketing collateral. Caitlin's made this marketing collateral that the spas could actually reach out to their guests and do a same type of group facial for their guests with that Staycation Facial kit, right? You have all the marketing materials, the social media. So you're supporting them with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is something that we're encouraging across the board. I mean, this is something that came out of nowhere. Everyone's doing their best to manage it that they can. So if you're a spa manager, spa director, certainly encourage your staff and your team to be doing the same thing. Find ways to get products to your clients any way that they can to keep their skin healthy, to keep the businesses viable. I mean, we've got to hang in there for as long as we possibly can with all of this. And I think it's going to be relatively short order here till things get back to a way that we can all, it can be the new normal.
And I also want to say that the whole staycation kit and leading through the protocols is a really fun idea. I mean, hands up if you had a good time today, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, I would like to give everyone else in this chat here permission to steal this idea, do it with your staff, like have them grab the staycation kit and all do it together. I mean, this is all about community building and us getting together and, hanging out and keeping spirits up. So please do this, and keep the love going. I want to open it up really quick to any questions that anyone else might have. So if you want to either put it in the chat or unmute yourself and if you have any questions specifically for Michael before we head out for the rest of our days.
I just have one quick thing before we get started is I wanted to also thank everybody from Level Up Spa for joining. We do have a wellness ambassador program. So those are for individuals that may need some additional supplemental income support. We're going to put details in the post-event information for you guys. And for all of you guys that are on this chat, if you post something to social, Instagram or Facebook, and tag Circadia and Live Love Spa, we will select one person for a $100 gift credit to Shop Live Love Spa. Okay,
amazing.
So make sure you tag us, and thank you guys for joining. Opening it up to questions now.
And I'll take some questions, but I also want to add again, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Live Love Spa. Thank you to all my friends, all these amazing smiling faces. I love you all so much. I cannot wait to see you all again and give you all a great big hug. I miss you all so much.
Thank you. All right, whoever has questions, I know Paul has got some feedback here. I've seen his questions coming up. Paul, what's up over there? Are you fresh-faced?
What's up? Yeah, I am. And Laura she's coming back finally. She had to go run an errand with the kids.
Paul, my man.
I must say that I'm looking pretty good, right, Lars?
Oh yeah, looking good.
You guys look incredible.
You guys are all looking awesome. It was fun to jump on here and do this. So I think best background, first of all, I think goes to Kayla.
Glitter.
Who had the best technique? Let's. I think Joe.
I want to learn.
Barry, was that the best technique?
I mean, Joanne, she's an award-winning trainer. I mean, clearly, I was watching there. It was just impressive beyond words.
Yeah, I was just trying to follow her hand movements. I was like, okay, just do what Joanne's doing on my own face. Perfect. Okay, great. Actually, there was a question earlier that Rihanna had asked that I wanted to bring back. It was in the beginning of this when we were just doing during the cleanse part. She said if you have soft water and it feels like soap is kind of still on your face, how do you know when everything is really removed?
Yeah, that's a really good question. If you have soft water, that can be a problem. Sometimes what we recommend is the blueberry and white tea hydrating mist. It takes the place of a toner as far as a step for pH balancing, but the blueberry and white tea hydrating mist can actually help with that because the pH is a little bit different. So that's something that we've gotten around. Not everybody asks that question, but that is a really good question. Unfortunately, it's not part of the kit, but something just to keep an eye out for the future.
And we have a question from, I believe it's Von Chell on Facebook, and she says that Arizona has a stay-at-home order, but that spa and nails are made as essential jobs there. Yeah, but her staff is really torn on what to do, and would love to know if anyone here has any advice for those people.
Right. So, I mean, I'll speak to that. And I've seen this come up in forums, and people are asking a lot of questions. And, you know, everyone's really scared about what's going on right now. And, you know, people are doing what they have to do to survive and feed their families. So I don't think criticizing or shaming what people are doing to do what they have to do is the right way to go. If you're taking every absolute precautionary measure and checking in with those clients and making sure whoever's walking through the door has not only zero symptoms, but has not had symptoms for a significant period of time, making sure that you are protected, that they're wearing masks, making sure that you're wearing gloves, that you're washing hands, that you're using hand sanitizer, taking every measure and then taking that same measure again 2 and 3 times fold, then that's probably something that is acceptable. But if you're taking people from off the street, taking clients, that is definitely a risky maneuver. I think the best thing to do now to truly flatten and then stomp the stomp the curve, is really social distancing. And it's so essential to making sure that we stop this as quickly as possible. I mean, truly, I live in Burnville, Pennsylvania. And those of you that have been to Burnville, Pennsylvania know that it is a tiny raindrop of a town. And we've got cases of COVID-19 here. I didn't think it was going to happen, but we have 1 grocery store and 1 gas station, and it's here. So it's really scary to think that how quickly this has spread in the last 3 months. So it truly is something that we need to do, is social distance.
I'd like to chime in on that, Kayla.
Yeah.
Coming from the Philippines, I've been monitoring this since January. I think some of you have seen me post in January, and people kept on saying you're so negative. Well, my family, now they're 2 months, they're about a month and a half into quarantine, and they're still seeing it. And interestingly enough, today I just saw what the doctors are saying, that the last group or batch of people who've been checked in only went to the grocery. That's all. They did not, so they didn't see any new people, but they did go to the grocery store. And then suddenly they had COVID. So they've been quarantined for a month, and then they went to the grocery store, and now they have COVID. And I'm really emotional about this because last night I found out one of my dear friends has it. His wife died a few days ago. He doesn't even know that she died, and he's intubated and unstable. So I feel stay at home, don't risk it. We don't know anything. We don't know enough about this virus to think that we know how to prevent it.
So thinking, you know, I thank you, Brianna, for that too. I think, you know, these are all really, really great points. You know, just wanting to say that maybe it's something that you could advise your staff to do because, you know, initiatives like this that Circadia is putting through and that us at Live Love Spa are trying to do with our Wellness Ambassador program is to give some support to everyone who is staying at home and keeping that on the forefront of their thoughts. So if you're looking for opportunities, you know, there's many of us in the industry who are really trying hard to support one another. So yeah, and Michael brings up a great point to sell it to your guests for an online facial, you know, actually use your code for the Wellness Ambassador program to recommend them product and then do an online consultation facial with them. You know, that's a great idea. So there's a lot of ways that we can still keep going. We're just having to be a little bit more creative. But we're all creative folks here. I mean, we're in, you know, health and wellness. We're constantly creating new treatments and ways to manage our staff and dealing with crazy situations. So I think that if anyone can do it, it is this group of people. But I want to just bring it back really quick to this particular program. Anything specifically about the Staycation Facial or Circadia specifically that anyone has to ask?
Hey, it's Kelly and Alyssa from the Edgewater.
Hey, ladies.
And we miss all of you and we love you all. And
It's
just want to thank
crazy.
Michael. We're a huge, huge partner of Circadia. And we thankfully are still at work. The spa's not open, but we're doing weird jobs all over property. Odd jobs, but it's, you know, we're still working. So very handy. Yeah. So the drop ship works great. Thank you. Our guests love that. We're taking advantage of it and promoting it. And this was just really fun. Thank you all for putting it together.
Absolutely, and we want to do more of these types of things too. So definitely thank you everyone for who popped in. If anyone has more questions, then that pop up later, feel free to pop them into the Live Love Spa app, and we'll make sure that Michael or myself get back to you on that. And then if you're not following Circadia or Live Love Spa on socials, get social with us, guys. So make sure you do that. And then I think that we have a couple Circadia has some free webinars coming up that you want to stay tuned for. We have lots of live events that are happening on our app as well. So there's plenty of opportunities for us to get together. So thank you guys again so much for meeting us. Keep your skin fresh, hydrate today, and stay social. But yeah, we love you guys. We miss you.
Miss you guys too.
Miss you.
All so much. If people do have questions on how to participate in what we're doing, info@circadia.com is a quick way to get in touch with us. The 800 number here, our customer service department everyone's currently working from home, but we are taking calls. 1-800-630-4710 is that number. And the estheticians that are here, if you're not already on our Circadia Educational Forum on Facebook, it's a really great way to continue to stay connected. So we'd love to hear from you. We've got lots of webinars coming up, lots of information for everybody.
Yeah, let's all stay connected for sure. I nominate Hannah to do one on massage at home with CBD next.
Yes. Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye, man.
Have a great
Virtual
day.
hug.
Bye.
Virtual hug.
Bye.
Virtual hug.